And I state that without arrogance. I don't mean to be arrogant, but I am a realist. And as a realist, it would be absolutely unprofessional for me to sit here and pretend I'm not an exceptional human being. Because I am.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I always love when I get news about this fighter because then it gives me an excuse to talk about him, and he's a personal favorite of mine in the welterweight division. A lot of people criticize this fighter because they say he can't punch, they say he hits like a fairy, and all these kind of things, but man, can box, can move, he's confident, physically strong, and he will fight the best. He's already shown that by fighting Chris Congo and Virgil Ortiz, and I think that'll continue. That'll be a growing trend as his career continues to progress in the sport of boxing. But that fighter is none other than the problem himself, and we ain't talking about no Adrian Broner. We're talking about the problem from across the pond, that problem. Portsmouth's very own Michael McKinson. Now, Michael McKinson, y'all can go ahead, y'all can mark your calendars, and y'all can save the date because Michael McKinson will be back March 18th, and he will be taking on a very unknown fighter, which, you know, sometimes can be a very dangerous thing. But he's taking on, from what looks to be a hard-punching fighter in the Brazilian, Sergio Carvahlo. And this fight's going to be in Italy. It'll be in Italy. It'll be Michael McKinson's DAZN Italy debut, because you know, you guys know, for those of you who know, for those of you who don't know, DAZN does every now and then go ahead and do shows in Italy. I'm not even sure if this fight is on DAZN, because from the looks of the fight poster, hold on, let me see. Yeah, from the looks of the fight poster, I don't see a DAZN logo, so I'm not even sure that this is gonna be on DAZN Italy. So Eddie Hearn don't care. Eddie Hearn don't care about Michael McKinson. It's messed up if it's not on DAZN Italy. But yeah, he's fighting this guy Carvahlo. Now I had a chance to go ahead and look at Sergio dos Santos Carvahlo, his record. He's 13-1, 11 knockouts, coming to you live and direct from Brazil. You know, Brazil is an interesting place for fighters. But he's had 14 fights, boxed 80 rounds, obviously scored mostly knockouts. Now, when you just check under the hood and look at the CV of Carvahlo, he's been a domestic level Brazilian fighter. Literally, all of his fights have been in Brazil. His last fight, he fought a fighter by the name of Fernando Luis Pinto for the Brazilian welterweight title, and he lost that fight in what looks to be a close UD because two of the judges had it 94-96. So a close fight in which he lost the Brazilian title. This will be his first fight fighting outside of Brazil. Now, I didn't take the time to watch film of him, but this guy is an unknown quantity if I've ever seen one. If you want to talk about an unknown fighter who there's probably not a whole lot out there about, this would be it. I mean, for Christ's sakes, if you go on his box rec, he didn't fight, this guy Carvahlo, he didn't fight all of 2020, right? So he didn't fight all of 2020. He didn't fight all of 2020. He didn't fight all of 2022. He didn't fight 2018. So he's literally had 3 inactive years in the last 5 years. If you go back to 2016, and I've never seen this on BoxRec. If you guys want to see what I'm talking about, go on BoxRec and go to school with his 2016. Sergio Carvahlo in 2016 fought an opponent in like the area where it's supposed to say the opponent's name on BoxRec. It literally says unknown. He fought an unknown. And then in little parentheses, it says the opponent was announced as Silva Sousa, and then it has his global ID. And then it basically said that Silva received as a standing account and down once in the 3rd round. So we don't even know if that fight even happened. They might just be saying that to you know, give him a win. It happens. Sometimes fighters buy their own wins and boxing be putting shit up there. But yeah, man. So I have no clue what the hell to expect from Michael McKinson. But all I know is he needs to go out there and win, because if there's one thing we know about this guy's record is that he can punch. And Michael McKinson has shown in the past it takes a lot more than punch power to beat him. But this fight to me, you know, at this moment in time, at this juncture of time, it just screams, high risk, like low reward. Because what do you give him beating this guy? It's a stay busy fight, you know, and good for McKinson, because McKinson, right, this will be his I believe his 2nd fight since the Virgil Ortiz fight. He did get 1 fight at the end of the year against Roberto Ariaza, who's a very experienced fighter, and beat him on points. So it'll be a 2nd fight since the Virgil Ortiz fight, and it'll be his September, October, November, December, January, February, March. It'll be his 3rd fight in 7 months, and it'll be his 4th fight. Wow, by the time McKinson gets in the ring, it'll be his 4th fight in a year's time. So right now, as it stands, McKinson is one of the most active welterweights in the world. You know, him, although Alexis Rocha, I feel like are the 2 most active welterweights. There's not a lot of guys who are fighting 2 times a year, let alone 4 times in a 1-year span, because he fought Alex Martin last March 19th. This fight will be March 18th. So since the Alex Martin fight, he's fought Alex Martin, Virgil Ortiz, Roberto Ariasa, Sergio Carvahlo. That's 4 fights. So credit to McKinson. He's staying sharp and he's doing what he can to be his best moving forward. And the thing I like about McKinson is that he's fighting everywhere. He's fighting, you know, L.A., Texas, Bournemouth. Now he's going to Italy to fight. So this guy is the definition of a road warrior, and he's willing to take on any and all comers. And as far as I'm concerned, look, after this fight, if he can go out there and do his job against Sergio Carvahlo, you know, Michael McKinson needs to be in a big fight next. I don't think it needs to be somebody quite as good as Virgil Ortiz, but he needs to be in a big fight next. So a couple of fights I would like for Michael McKinson if he gets past this hard-punching Brazilian. You know, I like the fight against Calderon Essuman. That's a good domestic fight. You know, right now as it stands, I think McKinson's the #1 welterweight from the UK. I put him above Conor Benn because Conor Benn don't want no smoke with anybody. So I put Michael McKinson above Conor Benn. I put probably Ben or Calderon Essuman will be #2. And yeah, I like to see him fight Calderon Essuman because he just beat one of Michael McKinson's best wins in Chris Congo. So there's that fight. You got Blair Cobbs. So Calderon Essuman, Blair Cobbs, you know, who else is there? I mean, you know, what you call Carvahlo, because I think it'd be a good fight if PBC wants to make that fight happen. You know, you got a lot of good fights out there for him. You got Harry Scarf domestically, who's a good fight. You know, there's Harold Calderon, there's Pete Dobson. There's good fights out there for McKinson. You know, I don't think his next fight should be against, like, you know, any of the top guys, because most of them are tied up. But those are the kind of names I'm looking at for McKinson if he can win this fight. You know, Calderon, Dobson, David Avanesyan would be another one. You know, Calderon Essuman, Conor Benn if Conor Benn wants to smoke, Blair Cobbs, Alexis Rocha. These are the kind of fights I want to see McKinson in, and I think he'll take any of those fights because he's showing you he's one of the most active welterweights. He's showing you he'll fight one of the most dangerous fighters in the world in Virgil Ortiz. He's showing you he'll fight you in L.A., he'll fight you in Texas, he'll fight you in England, he'll fight you in Italy. So when we talk about the guys who really deserve the respect, who really deserve our attention, whether you love his style or not, Michael McKinson is going out there and he's getting it done on a routine basis. So yeah, that's the news, man. Michael McKinson back in action, in Italy against very unknown fighter, but guy with a good knockout record. So we'll see what happens. But leave your comments down below. Who do you want to see McKinson fight next? You know, make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.